working on time in this one. Let me get my hold on people, I'm gonna have to bend this a little bit so I can get my there we go. Technology. Sorry Facebook and YouTube, help me, because my computer is about I can't cut my head in half. Okay, there we go. Hi everyone. Hello. Okay, all set. Good. Hi everybody. we're work in progress. We're gonna make it a 9. We're gonna make it a 9. And the sanctuary enemies are gonna leave it alone. We're gonna make it a 9. It's gonna happen. What had happened was that's what is gonna happen. Just this week has been, I can't even believe tomorrow is Friday. It's been, because basically we had half a week. So it's been a lot of catching up since Wednesday. Hi everyone. Come on in. Happy Thursday. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Immigration is Illinois sanctuary. As my mom would say, but not by law. Meaning God knows where you live. Keep it going. Keep it going. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it one day. Just don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. And the funny thing is, every single time I'm like, okay, yeah, 9 o'clock, I'm gonna, but then the plan doesn't always work out somehow. But it is what it is. Anyway, I hope everyone has had a blessed week so far. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 once again. I represent immigration clients in all 50 states. If you need to consult with us or contact our office, our contact number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. If I sound dragging because I'm tired, but it's all good. Same number on WhatsApp, text. You can text us, or you can text us directly to that number, either on WhatsApp or a direct text. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure you do. Tons of information on all the platforms, really. I can't even tell you how many people would say, hey, listen, I was going to schedule a conversation with you, which would be good, but I went on your page and I actually found the answer to the question I had. So, win-win for everybody. Anyway, thank you all for always joining. I appreciate that. As you know, drill questions usually at the end, but today we are doing questions at least for the next 30 minutes. So let's have your questions. Put your questions in the comment section, and we will try to get to everybody's question. And I get this question all the time. If I'm not, because someone's dead today, texted my sister and said, hey, I live really far away from you. Like I'm like 10 hours away by road. So how am I going to consult with you? So, because we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. So how does that work? Immigration is federal practice. So as long as an attorney is licensed in any state, they can represent you in any state you live in. So regardless of whether that attorney is licensed in your state, it differs from state-specific cases, because conversely, I get questions about, hey, Cecilia, I'm sort of divorced and all that shit. I'm divorced. No, if you're not in the state of Alabama, or you're not in the state of New York, which are the 2 states that I'm licensed in, then I cannot help you with divorce cases. So, but immigration case is federal. And so that's different. That means that you only need 1 state license and you can practice federal law in any state. All right. Bring on your questions, people. Let's have the questions. So, this is the time to bring the questions on. But disclaimer. General information, nothing specific to anybody's case. If you need something specific to your case, Miss Gibson, you're obsessed with TJ. If you need anything specific to your case, then you've got to set up a proper paid consultation. Okay. Can y'all hear me good on YouTube and Facebook? It's because someone just put in, can you speak louder? If I speak louder than I'm doing, I'm what's going on? Thank you, Miss Belo. Miss Gibson, so your nephew's not home. Is with his dad. Peace and quiet. Can you hear that? Can you all hear that? Peace and quiet. The life of the parties in his father's house. Is there any way you can someone on Facebook, can somebody let me know on YouTube if you can hear me okay? Somebody? Anybody? Yes, no? Come on, people. I can see you that you're on there. Because you can see what platform people are signing on from. No? Yes, no? Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Let's go. What did I just do? All right. Bring on your questions, people. Once again, 334-341-4475 is the way to contact us if you need to. You can send a text to the number as well. Please share this video. Follow, like, share. We would appreciate that. Okay, so I'll come back to Facebook while y'all, because I see some. Okay, I will come back there. Let me go to TikTok because I think you should get a lot more. Good evening, Miss Angie. How are you? Hello, Mr. Banky from New Jersey. That's my younger brother's in the bank calling. Well, Banky. How long does it take to get extension letters for I-751? It depends on, I guess, where your filing location is. I can only use my firm, experience in my firm as point of reference. So, because I can't even really use the ones we got yesterday because I was out last week, and usually I have a city, so nobody touches my mail. But on average, I don't think I've had extension notices that have taken more than 30 days for us to receive. So, okay. Doesn't matter if you marry so. Oh, by the way, people. Yo. So, this morning, I do my devotion, and I check my emails. I talk to God first before I talk to anybody. I don't care who you are, my child, my mother. I talk to God first before I talk to anyone, because that's just so. After devotion, check my email and saw that one of my clients' vow cases that was denied. We had an RFE. We responded to the RFE. They denied it, and then we filed an appeal to see that the administrative. So the way appeal works with USCIS is this: if you, and not BIA appeals, and this is AAO appeals. If you choose to do an appeal instead of a motion to reopen and reconsider, when you send your I-290B, the very first point of contact is the person who made the decision, who denied your case. Your appeal, your 290B, actually is sent to that officer. That officer is given a chance to reconsider their decision based on whatever evidence you sent in. If the officer decides that they're going to stick with the decision, then they forward your file to the Administrative Appeals Office. And then they take a look at your case de novo, which is anew. They're not going to base the decision on what the officer had done. If they agree with the officer, then they will dismiss your appeal. If they do not agree with the officer, then they have different options. They can sustain the appeal and make a decision on their own. They can now decide to remand the case back to the officer with specific instructions to reconsider their decision. And you already know that Nigerian. Hello, Miss Ben, I sent you Eleanor Sanctuary. Yeah. We started at 9 p.m. See how I rolled my eyes? Just keep piling it on, because you already know I'm going to get you, because you know me. But so if they decide to remand your case, so they can sustain and they make a decision, or they can sustain your appeal, but rather than make a decision, remand it back to the office that made a decision with very specific instructions of what they require them to do. Okay, so to even have an appeal based on alleged, fraudulent divorce decrees, I was like, auntie, and you argue. My client was like, what? She's like, well, let's see. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. God remains faithful. I'm telling you, God remains faithful. So, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So in my firm, we haven't had any I-751 case where it's been more than 30 days for us to get the receipt notice. Doesn't matter if you marry someone younger than you. Age difference cannot be the deciding factor as to whether or not your case is genuine. And I'll give an example. One of the cases we received, one of the email alerts we received today was another K1 FIESA visa petition got approved. There is a 29-year age gap between my client. Well, they're both my clients. There's a 29-year age gap. And it was approved without any ARVs. So, just give an example. Let's see. Since you get your military ID during processing in the past, can I apply? I don't understand your question. Good day. Can I call you, or I need to make an appointment? You need to make an appointment. If your question is not on live, you need to make an appointment. And our number is 334-341-4475. If you call my office or text, so Lydia usually, she stays on with me when I do lives, because we take, there's sometimes she would, like I have my office, what we use in the office is an internet-based phone, so that everybody who works in the office has access to it. So I always tell people that my laptop that I'm using right here for Facebook and YouTube, and listen, you don't even know how much backing up and virus protection, and you're thinking me go CIA. But because I can make a call from my phone, from my laptop, I can see all the texts everybody's texting and who was coming in. So she would text me a while on live, like, hey, there's a question you missed and all that. So yes, but other than that, we have an answering service after work hours. So you can always call even after 5 p.m. and they will pass the message across to us. But yes, you would have to set up a consultation or go to our website, olalayalawfirm.com, and you'll be able to do that on the website yourself. Very, very straightforward, very easy, straightforward. Loving the hairstyle. Thank you. Lioness Joseph. Thank you. Appreciate that. USCI has visited my house and nothing is heard after 60 days. What should I do, or how long do I wait? Visiting your house has nothing to do with how long it's going to take them to make a decision. But obviously, if they paid you an unannounced visit, there's a reason why they did that. How long it's going to take for them to make a decision, that's not a question I can answer. After a grant of withholding, if I'm a citizen, will I get a green card? Generally, if you're granted withholding, you're not able to adjust your status. Keep in mind, granting you withholding it doesn't allow you to adjust status. It's not necessarily a status. It just says you are ordered removed. You have a removal order, even if you're granted withholding of removal. The only thing is you will not be removed to the country that you indicated you're afraid to go back to, but you can be removed to a third country. While they figure that whatever the third country is going to be, you're able to work, but you can't adjust status. Let's see. I have a conversation with you, and I hope you can help me. I hope so too. Fingers crossed. I hope God can help all of us. But hey, listen, conversation is that's the whole point, to figure out if there's anything that can be done. And like one of my clients, one of the potential clients I consulted with today, if it's something where I just don't feel that it's worth you spending attorney fees on, I'm very, and he was like, I appreciate your you're so direct. I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, I don't ever tell someone there's no way out, because for me, because of my faith, I never go and say, oh no, you can never get that done. I just don't. I don't believe in telling somebody else or telling myself, telling someone else you can't do something. There's a way you can say, you know what, I just don't see how that's going to be worth your while. If I would suggest, I would say probably not going to be a viable option, but it's saying, no, you can't get it done. Because when you tell me I can get something done, ask my mama. I don't know if she's on. I must have had some people. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll talk. You have a username, so I don't know what your name is, but I guess you let me know once we meet. Does it matter if you marry someone younger? Just to answer that question. My fiance lives in London. We want to marry, so I can file for him. How long will it take? USCIS.gov/processing times. You be to give you an idea of how long cases are taking. Marriage interview was last June. I-130 approved in April. Still waiting. I think you already asked that question yesterday. Contact your field office. Congressional assistance requests. Send them a demand letter. Those are the options you can use. Can undocumented fly within U.S. like Philly to Hawaii with valid ID? It's not like you can fly with a valid ID. I just am very, very weary of those states that are not necessarily the 48 regional states. That's just me. Hawaii is part of the United States, just like Puerto Rico is the territory of the United States. But those are places where there is a heavy presence of ICE officers. That's just reality. So it's really up to you. What did I do now? What people? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Are you Nigerian? I think you've asked me the last time. I am. Abisola. Is any other country where someone goes by Abisola? I don't. I'm named it. I mean, believe and learn, right? If my I-130 processing time says 2 months, what does that mean? I can't answer that question. If a U.S. citizen gets food stamps, will it affect I-864 eligibility in the future? There's no, the way you word it, it's not being eligible. Let me see if I can rephrase your question and if that answers what you're trying to ask. If what you're trying to ask is if you received food stamps in the past, but now you're working and all that, does the fact that you receive food stamps, you're the petitioner, is that going to be a problem with you being able to submit an affidavit of support on behalf of your intending spouse or child, whatever the case may be? And the general answer to that is no. General answer. I don't know about your case. General. Love those glasses. What brand? To be honest, I don't know. So my red one is Tom Ford. That one I know. I love my red frames. This is the case of this one. I don't know what logo this is, to be honest with you. I just don't. Yes, Mr. Jennifer. So whatever this 3 line is, that's what it is. But I can check later. Oh, I can't see. I'm going to need another glasses to see what's there. But thank you. Let's see. Let's see. Petition from my mom. They approved the I-130 and pending I-45 for 1 month. I'm a citizen. What is your question? I'm an adult adoptee. Can my parent file a green card for me? I'm 30 years old and I'm on F1 visa. If you're, as long as you're on, if you're still single, then it doesn't matter whether your adopted parent, where did that go? Hold on. Okay. Doesn't matter if your adopted parent, adoptee parent is a green card holder or citizen, as long as you're unmarried. However, if you're married, then it matters because only citizens can petition for married children. But so it depends on what your preference category will. Obviously, you're no longer under 21, so you're not an immediate relative. So if you've been adopted, then generally, your parents should be able to file for you. But in your case, you must be in valid status at the time you file your I-45 green card application. And it has to be that your preference category, the priority date, is current. Dex, what is your question? Is it possible to win a VAR case with a good declaration and psychological evaluation? Absolutely. Can someone with an I-94 parole paper get married to a citizen and get documents? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. Are you asking if you came in legally, you have a valid I-94? What do you mean by I-94 parole paper? Okay. Do you do VAR cases? Yes, we do. My cousin's bank account got closed due to suspicious activity. Would that affect AOS? That's another question I can answer. That's very specific. I don't know what the reason for the closing of the account was for. Can a VAR case be I think my kid, Ms. Gibson, since you're looking for TJ, he's signed it on YouTube. He says, how do I file for it? Can tell he's my kid. Let's move on. Can the valid process if your I-130 was can you still apply for do a VAL petition if the I-130 was denied? Generally, yes. How long does USCIS take to respond to an attorney inquiry? It's not necessarily whether it's an attorney inquiry, it's just inquiries general and depends on what inquiry. That's a very, very general question without knowing what the background information is. My case was updated in USCIS website to request for additional evidence. My case was updated in USCIS website to request for additional evidence was sent. Please, I did not receive to my knowledge. USCIS did not send a request for additional. What do I? Okay, Billy, let me rephrase your question. I think your question is, what do you do because your case status shows that USCIS sent a request for evidence, but you're saying you never received it? What should you do? Call USCIS and let them know you haven't received it, and for them to resend it and ask them to extend, if the time to respond has passed, ask them to extend it because you haven't received it. but you must be able to show that you didn't receive it. What's your friend? Ms. Gibson, who's your friend? I just remembered I'm supposed to call somebody. With my brain works. I gotta do this guy. Ms. Gibson, who's your friend and what's their question? If they have a question, they have to put it on the screen. Okay, let me go to Instagram while we wait for you to decide that. You have your police report. Can you still file your paperwork? You have your police report. Can you just file paperwork? Okay, if you're, because I wonder what is your background. Hold on. What is consultation fee? $130 for 30 minutes, 245 minutes, 230, 1 hour. So two people called the office and they're like, "Huh, no, its consultation fee has been discounted." She said that yesterday, July 5th. No, that's not what I said. That wasn't what I said. And there's video evidence to prove that. What I said was, I may think about doing a promotion again. Didn't say that there's a promotion going on. Y'all just know how to just, you know how the telephone thing where somebody says something, by the time it gets to the last minute, like the whole story has changed. I was like, no, try another one. That's not going to work because that wasn't what I said. But it's 130, 30 minutes, 130, 245 minutes in 231 hour. Can you apply for an I-130 and 601 together? The I-130 has to be approved first. Came through the border. Okay, you were given your parole in. You have to sit down with a lawyer and figure out your options. Is there forgiveness for someone who crossed the border with papers of an American citizen? Basically, you'll be deemed to have entered without inspection. Sit down with a lawyer and discuss your case. If you're married without returning your papers yet, and you have an issue with your wife, and you have, okay, let me go back. Your police report, can you still file your paperwork? Dex, consult with a lawyer and know for sure whether you have sufficient evidence to move forward with a self-petition. Do you help people with Hindi and Punjabi language clients? If you speak English, yes, but I don't speak anything outside of English language and Yoruba language, and I don't have translators. Can you file for VAR even if you never live with your spouse at all? Short answer, no. Because it's very specific. You must have lived with your spouse. The new policy actually allows you to count anytime you live together, even before you got married, as part of the evidence of shared residency, but you must have lived with your spouse. USCIS asked for my medical, and I submitted it a month ago, but no receipt. No yet. They're not going to send your receipt that they received. Your case status may be updated that we receive your request for evidence, but it just depends. So my kids are 8 and 5 years old. Is there any way I can receive my status? Talk to a lawyer and see what your options are. But if you're talking about through your kids at that age, short answer, generally no. You're welcome, Dex. Okay. Mr. Bennett and Miss Sanctuary, you've become Jamaican partners. Started at 9 p.m. Okay. Hello, my number, Lane. That's all I'm going to say. Why does the I-90 application take so long? Now, I have been, knock on wood, I have been lucky. All my I-90s that we filed within the last year. There was one we actually literally that even reminds me because I have to send his information to him. We literally received the notification that I-90 had been approved about 2 days after we got the receipt notice of the filing. So, and then conversely, I have about two that's been over a year that we filed them. So there's no rhyme or reason with USCIs. We got some more new notices today. One of those was an initial application EAD based on asylum, C8 category. And we filed it on June. Well, when I say my assistant sent it out on last one is what last one in June 28th, whenever that was. And they approved it on June 30. So we literally got the receipt notice of, okay, we've gotten your case and approval notice. We've approved your EAD together today. And then you've got, EAD's pending over a year. And there's a rhyme or reason with those people. Lord, show me mercy. That was African 9 p.m. Hey, I'm a work in progress. You didn't say anything. Oh, no, you said everything. If you're scheduled for I-130 interview before that notice arrives, okay, so what's the question? I was going to leave from this night. Yeah, keep laughing. I filed my mom's petition. They approved her I-130 depending. I think I already said that on you were on TikTok. So I don't know anything about the case. I don't know why it's pending. But you can make an inquiry by calling USCIS. How does it start for you to get back with clients? I don't understand your question. What time we can call you? If you want to discuss your case, you have to call my office or send a text, and we'll send you the information to set up a proper paid consultation. I do not do free consultations. I don't. This is the free consultation. So if you have a question, put it up now. Let's talk about it. If it's something you don't want to put out there, you're going to have to pay to get answers to those questions. I filed for my I-130 and it's been approved since 2020. You mean your spouse filed the I-130 for you? And then you filed for I-45, and in a few days it'll be 6 months. I did my biometrics. Do you think it's normal? Since I haven't heard, I-45s can take upwards of a year or more, so that's not unusual. If you have a child in the U.S., but now you're married to a U.S. citizen, okay, what's the question? After receiving my acknowledgement letter from Val, what next am I expecting? I don't know what next you filed. So if you filed just the petition itself, then months after that, or 2 to 5 months, I always say you prima facie determination if you've sent in everything. If you filed companion applications, then EAD approval, I-131 approval. But as far as the Val petition itself, it's going to take a while. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So that's the truth of the matter. What is the cost for you filing adjustment of status? Fees are discussed during the consultation. Okay, let's see. If you travel on a visitor visa and stay over on it, you mean overstayed, meaning you stayed beyond I-94 expiration date? Is it safe to seek asylum? As long as you are still within the 1 year statutory period since you entered the country and you have a valid reason to seek asylum, then generally, yes. Okay, let's see. I did my biometrics in May 2022. Until now, it hasn't been updated on my case. Please, is this number for a bio person? They hardly update anything on I-360. Like, you did it, you give it the stamped receipt that you did your biometrics, and that's it. Hardly do I get anything after we filed an I-360. I can't think off the top of my head any case that after the biometrics, the updated that we, your fingerprint, whatever was done. Maybe the 45, maybe 765, but I don't worry about that at all. It's a normal filing for over 8 months now. No EAD, no approval, only RFP. That is 2 months of them acknowledging it's been received. Acknowledging what has been received? What did you file? Oh, if you would never disappoint. Hello, Mr. Miriah. Hello, Mr. J. How are you? How long is VAD taking? I sent mine in July 2021. Generally, about now, okay, I haven't checked today. The last time I checked, it was yesterday. It's 35 months or thereabouts. So about 3 years, give or take. If you had an I-130 that was filed on your behalf, then it should not take that long because you can recapture the priority date of your I-130 for your VAD case. But so July 2021, so you're just about 2 years. So give or take the 3 years, but it's possible for you to see some movement in your case anytime soon. Do you have to wait for 2 years to get your green card after your VAD approved? Did you file the green card application? That's the first question. Submitted my medical RFP in November 2022. I called and a service request was raised, and USCIS responded that there's a backlog and the estimate is 6 months delayed. Can I call to check again? You can. How long does it take to receive your green card after verbal approval from the officer after your interview? You can base length of receive your green card on verbal approval. Verbal approval doesn't do anything. Your case has to be approved. So if your case has not been approved and your I-45 hasn't changed or approved, then there's no waiting for anything until that happens. Okay. All righty. Is it after the approval of an I-360, I can file for work permit all others, or am I supposed to have filed them together? You're not supposed to have filed them together, but if you wanted to have work permit while your VAD case is pending, then that's your option to have filed them together. And you would have been able to get a work permit based on filing a 485 based on the VAD petition. Hello, Ms. Judith. Oh, it did not come in today. So let me add your name to my weekend pile. It did not come in today. So we're just going to go ahead with what we talked about. Is it safe to attend an I-130 interview if you're still waiting for a 360 receipt notice? If you ask USCIS to transfer your 485 you filed with the I-130, then I would suggest, first of all, get an attorney, because there's nothing that says you can have a concurrently not filed together, but simultaneous is what the right word, I-130 and 360. But you've got to make up your mind. Are you back with your spouse and then you want to stick with that and get your green card through that and reach your VAD case? Or are you going to stick with your VAD case and find a way to still attend? Because if your 45 is dependent on, if you're dependent on them to transfer that to your VAD case, then you cannot not attend. Because if you do not show up, it's going to be denied. So in your case, piece, I would probably say I'm hoping you have a lawyer in your case, get your lawyer to discuss further on that so you know exactly what to do. I-130 485 denied. And a later file for VA, is this okay? And can I use advance parole issued on the VA to travel abroad? I cannot tell anyone whether to travel or not. If you're not a client, I don't ever give you advice on whether to travel unless you specifically set up the time to talk to me, and then I have as much information as I can possibly have about you. So having said that, generally, as long as an advance parole is valid, because my clients know. Like if you're out of the country, that's the case that just hit me just now, that it's just a thorn in my side. But anyway, if you have an advance parole, I require you to let me know when you're going. I know, we're Africans, we don't Caribbeans. We don't tell people what's going on. That's okay. I just require you to let me know when you're going, an estimated time, and when you get to the airport, please, you're calling me because you have me on speed dial just in case. So, but there's nothing that says you cannot file for a VA petition after denial of a regular marriage-based case. Generally, how much will it cost if you file a VA case? I don't have set fees. Fees are discussed in the consultation. Alrighty, let's see. I think I got okie dokie, people. I think we got all questions today. Can religious worker change employer while I-485 is pending? What is your religious worker status based on? Is it the R1 or is it based on 360? My asylum case status changed from decision pending to application pending. So what's your question? Let's see. The fact that you write the same question 10 times doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily read it. If anything, it actually makes me want to skip through it, because it's like, okay, let's see what other people have written. Okay. Is it okay to fly within U.S. with valid, I think you missed ID, like to Hawaii? I already answered that question. I'm just generally, I just do not, because Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, they are part of the U.S., but they are territories that are not they're places where there's heavy ice presence. So that's all. Miss Gibson, what was the question? I don't see the question you asked. Miss Deborah, there's no question here as far as a VAR case. So what is the question? Or is that the kind of VAR be processed if your I-130 was denied? I think I already answered that. That there's nothing that stops you from doing a VAR case, even if an I-130 was denied. If anything, actually, if you've been the beneficiary of an I-130, even if it was denied, in spite of the denial, you can ask USCIS to still transfer the priority date of that denied I-130 to your VAR petition, in spite of it being denied. So as long as you were the beneficiary of that I-130. Okay. Was that the question, Ms. Gibson? How long does it take to get a work permit after biometrics? It doesn't depend on your biometrics. It just depends on how long it's taken them. For instance, we filed the C9 category based on regular marriage case on May 23rd. It was approved June 23rd, 1 month. And then I have cases that were filed in September 2022, regular marriage case, and we're still waiting on the E80s to be approved. So, yeah. So, Erling, can someone overcome 204C? Is it possible to overcome 204C? Yes, as long as you've got the evidence to do that. And the only way you can overcome that is if you file a new petition, because once you have a 204C decision against you, you're permanently barred from ever getting a green card. But the only way you can challenge that is to file something new, and you probably get an RFE and to respond and fight really, because that's the only way you're going to be able to overcome that. If you stop fighting, then that's it. Okay, Ms. Gibson, was that the question? Let me know if that was a question. I'm going to wait about 2 minutes for you to come on and tell me if that was a question, so we'll know. But anyway, once again, if we can help you with your immigration case, our contact information is 334-341-4475, @lalawfirm.com. Please share, especially when we do questions, because you never know who you're going to share the video with that may have one of the questions that we've addressed. Now. Okay, I think we've done all of this. Hello, Mr. Jude. Virus hypnosis can take up to 60 days, and you know why I'm smiling. Let's see. Okay, hold on, I think. Okay, he didn't show up. Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, what? Yeah, you know what I'm smiling. Don't be asking me questions about what we just sent you kids in. Don't send me an email before 60 days. So, well, you never know. You never know, really. Because some of the ones we got yesterday, Lord knows that. It was like USC as my mail lady literally brought that. And so whenever she comes into the office with that box, I'm like, okay, here we go. Yes, it's gonna be, but we thank God, it was a combination of approvals. There's notices. We just listen. You're welcome. Okay. Let's see. It's been 150 days since my VAR case was approved, and it's been 65 days since I submitted my medical RFE that was requested. Please, how long does it take for I-45 to be approved? That's very subjective. It depends on where you sent it to, because you usually would send the medical RFE to a field office. So I cannot tell you this is how long it's going to take. It's very subjective. But congratulations on your VAR approval. Okay, let's see. Hello, Ms. Nordia. Even in spite of some of the usernames, I can because I'm used to it now, I can tell who my client is now. How about the area of getting I-130 and 45 denied earlier? I hope it's not a problem for me going. I already answered that question. That there's nothing that says you can file for VAR even if it's denied, as long as you have your evidence. After my I-130 interview, can I still file for VAR? Generally, yes. I filed for marriage-based green card with my 3 kids, but my 2 kids was approved. The youngest was not approved. Should I be worried? I can't tell you whether to be worried or not, because I don't know what the basis of your filing was, what happened with the other 2 being approved, and why the youngest one, has not been approved. What action can I take if my husband withholds the documents from me that I need to submit my paper, and he also stole all my money and put in a joint account? Sit down. I love that verse. Sit down with a lawyer and discuss your eligibility for VAR. All right, people. Hello, Susie. Hello. How are you? Okay. Thank you as always for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry because I don't know what time I've drank so much coffee today, and I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I have enough natural caffeine that God has given that if I drink coffee every day, I'll be literally bouncing, off the wall. But today I need it because I'm working on 2.5 hours of sleep. It's just what I have to do. Ms. Abena actually sent you emails earlier on, so check your email. So I'll let you know whenever I get an update again. So yes, and I need to speak with you. Wednesday. Yeah, I need to speak with you. Me too. I'll put my note down because that needs to be cleared up. So check your email, and we need to talk before Wednesday. My adjustment status was denied in 2021. Got a new divorce when you're in the United States, and I remarried my American citizen wife. I did my interview 4 months ago, and addition to now. When do you think I should expect? I can't answer the question. Is that 𝒂𝒏𝒕? He's the one. I know you're the one because of your comment. Let me put K on blast. K and I went to K. How is your dad? No, I think wait. How's your dad? I'm thinking something that's also a post. I may be wrong. Hello, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. How are you? So K and I went to law school together. And K, let's just, I'm just putting you on blast. K had a crush on me then. I think he still does. And now that he knows I'm single. K, Richmond, how's your dad? Or I think I may actually know the answer to that, but I don't know. Why are you still up, first of all? Because you're in Nigeria, right? I'm good. I'm good with Salami. Thank you for asking. Anyway, okay. Okay, you still there? Yeah, I put him on blast. I put him on blast. Mr. Brennan said, yeah, okay, show your face. Hey, Miss Pam. Hello, Miss Pam. Hello, my big sis. How are you doing? Okay, Katie Salom. But anyway, all right, people. So listen, I love tonight because we're having a lot of people saying, hey, my vow was approved, my kiss was approved. I got an RFE for medical. Usually when you get an RFE for medical, that basically is a good indication of your interview in your case being waived. How long it's not going to take for them to now approve your I-45. It's very, very relative. It's very subjective. Hi, Miss Pam. So you can't, and it depends on your state. USCIS is really backward, and that's just the truth. And it depends on your state. So you cannot, and that's one that I tell people, you can't compare your case to somebody else's case, even in the same field office. Why at the same time? You cannot use someone else's clock to run your own life's race. It's not, you're just going to run yourself in the ground. Two people who filed their cases on the same day don't get their approvals on the same day. It's just the way God works. But as long as we run our own race and just believe that things will work out for us, when you can't change the time of your blessing. There's nothing you can possibly do to change it because God has already set that in stone. And sometimes we're tested to see if we're patient enough to receive the magnitude of the blessing he's bringing. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. I missed you too. And you knew Allah. Oh my God. He's like, he's just full of life. But I mean, that is just what it is. Thank you, Miss Pam. We've got to run our race at our own time, using our own clock. You miss TJ. TJ will be back next week. TJ will be back next week. Um, Listen, I spent the last 10 days with TJ. I miss him, but it's good when I take a break from TJ. TJ is me in a male version. TJ is his mother. I always just say, God has got a great sense of humor, but he was fair. Because if TJ came as a girl, ah, lie ah, Miss Lemon, my bail me out of jail. I know. Because how you have your first kid. Those first kids are usually the easy one, and you feel like, I can do this. I literally I can have like 700 more kids because SJ is very, very low maintenance, very reserved, easygoing kid, doesn't demand anything. And they're like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Let's have another one, and then came TJ. Like human birth control, Lily. Let's close shop. No, Nibo. Let's just thank you, Jesus. Intentional alone. Intentional too. But seriously, let's just hold on and know that our timeline is the way God has destiny to be. You can't change the timeline of your blessing because then you're going to completely disrupt the route of your blessing. Why would you want to do that? Let God do what he knows how to do best. And just let's all exercise patience. I'm not the most patient person in the world. I tell you, I don't think I ever had the appreciation for what patience is until I became a mother. But even till now, I still struggle with because I'm an instant gratification person. But I'm learning each day the same thing I tell you, that I've come to understand that I cannot force God to do what I want him to do when it's not time for him to do what he wants to do. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.